time for Sports on the Bayou, a detailed account of the sports scene in Louisiana. Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury will break down the weekly Saints game, brought to you by the American flag, as well as the St. Martin and Bourke weekly LSU breakdown. Harry McCullough will bring us the Louisiana's Cajun Bayou Lafourche Parish segment, featuring key games of local interest. Dr. Pat, our favorite ENT, is always on top of the
asking all them questions. Why you asking all them questions? Making statements.
Stan Gravois will bring us local pertinent medical sports information as well as high school sports. Martin False, that's me, will open up the mics in the crowd to see what's on the fans' mind. More talk and plenty of audience questions. Live from the Eugene and Lorraine Falls studios in Houma, Louisiana, it's time for Sports on the Bayou. And here's Mike Detillier.
Welcome to another edition of Sports on the Bayou. Mike Detillier, the Cajun Cannon, Bobby Hebert.
Got baby.
And Rich Marty's out of town, so we got our number one relief pitcher.
We got
Harry McCullough.
Sean Connery.
There you go.
Sean Connery on the board.
Okay, before Bobby gets too far into it, we'll go to a break and we'll be back more with Sports on the Bayou.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before, and just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember Lafourche.
If you have nasal breathing difficulties, snoring, mouth breathing, gritting and grinding of your teeth, TMJ, or headaches during the day, along with fatigue, depression, weight gain, you may have sleep apnea, which can easily be diagnosed via an in-office visit and home sleep study. If you are a loved one or having these symptoms and it's impacting your life, please schedule an appointment with us for an evaluation.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bourke, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou, guys. The Saints go to Philly and just get a thumping. You gave up 242 yards rushing. Last year, you gave up 246 against them.
Well, we got the wrong game plan.
You got that one right. And that seeming, to me, the defense was the story of this game. Offensively, you got nothing going, but defensively, you had played well against the run all season long, only gave up 100 yards rushing one time, and that was in a win against the Washington football team. You got stomped this weekend, and then 3 turnovers, too. I mean, so it was all over but the shout.
No, they couldn't get off the field. And when the defense, it looked like watching OLSU a little bit. as soon as the, 3 and outs kept coming, you knew the defense was going to wear down. I thought a few guys on defense played pretty good earlier on. Demario Davis, I don't know where. They covered him up. Apparently.
He had one tackle.
Right. Apparently those tackles.
When's the last time you can remember that?
He was nowhere to be seen.
I don't remember that. Now, Marcus Davenport was terrific.
He played good.
Marcus Williams really played well, but Demario Davis, oh, man.
Well, he got covered up. Is what so, I mean, that's
Cam Jordan, too.
That's those defensive tackles in the front of him that were probably not doing their gig like normally.
To show you Dennis Allen, and I love Dennis Allen. Sean Payton, and people say, oh, well, Sean Payton's the head coach, but he don't run the defense. Dennis Allen, I want to make Jalen Hurts throw the football.
Right.
You got to stop the run. The reason why I say that, the Eagles had rushed for 628 yards in the previous 3 games before they played the Saints. That was 151 more yards than the next closest team in that span in the whole National Football League. Mike, they were coming into the game averaging 209 yards rushing. It wasn't like, I don't care if we were the number 1 run defense. The Eagles say, well, but you haven't played us. You haven't played us. And it was so humbling. I'm looking at this, whether it was Jalen Hurts, Jordan Howard, Miles Sanders, Boston Scott from Louisiana Tech, combined, like you said, Mike, 242 yards with 152 coming at halftime, before halftime. I thought, well, we'd have maybe hold them to 90, 100 yards throughout the game. They had 152 by halftime. When you compare that to the Saints, the top-rated run defense, the last 3 games we've only given up 57 yards a game. It doesn't matter who you played. The top-rated defense had only allowed 261 yards in the previous 4 games combined. So what they did, Mike, was in 1 game, but it took 4 NFL games to achieve. That's why, to me, if you ever play the Eagles again, I don't know what's going to happen down the road. You got to make Jalen Hurts throw the ball 35 or 40 times.
Well, all the thing I know is they don't play the read option real well.
No.
I mean, that read option almost looked like it was all new to them, and it was similar to watching a little bit of the Buffalo Colts game. Okay, the Colts ain't beating you with Carson Wentz.
Right.
They hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor, and it's not like they came in there trying to disguise that. They did it all game long, and Buffalo can't run worth a lick neither. So we'll see how that works out.
We'll see how it works out, yeah.
So highlights of the game early on, Trevor back to pass. With a little bit
that
of,
was a bad throw. You got to put more air into that. He's wide open. Trautman's wide open. Trautman had his best game, but guess what? He's hurt now.
Now you got a sprained MCL, and he may miss the entire season.
Yeah.
4 to 6 weeks, basically, you lost.
Well,
then you get a turnover here. It's 14-0. You get a turnover.
We got to get more of those, Mike. But we ended up scoring, but we were going backwards, and we finally went forward.
And that was the UL Lafayette guy, Christian Ringo, who forced the fumble and got the fumble. Then Simeon back to pass, throws it up. And that was a really good catch by Trautman. To be honest, that's the best catch of his career.
That was one of the best Saints offensive plays for the season.
And Simeon, boy, he hungs this one up, and Darius Slay was squatting on that.
Pick 6, I've been there, done that. When you don't have enough time, people say, well, why don't you burn them deep? You got to have time to throw. You can't do an out and up or slanting up because the rush is there. We had our backup offensive line in there.
Then once they started to play soft coverage,
in the 4th quarter. How about at the beginning?
You got a touchdown with Callaway, but so what? Yeah. I mean, the Eagles they were trying to just finish the game. And then Trevor, you can see he hadn't run too much.
No, that
he
looks
goes
like
to
me.
Spike it, and he hits his foot. That would have been something he got hurt on that play.
That looks like me trying to run there.
Then again, Simeon throws this one up. A nice catch by little Jordan Humphrey. But again, at this point, it was you just running the clock out.
The game was 40-29, but it wasn't even that close. If you really look at it, Mike, it wasn't that close. It looks respectable, but it wasn't that close.
When they scored 14, I was like, this offense is not going to score 14. I mean, they ended up scoring at the end, but the offense had no chance at all, and that's what put the defense in a bind. But there's no players. There's no offensive line. There's no wide receiver.
And Harry, the crazy part about that is, in a short week, are you going to get Ramchak and Armstead and Kamara and Taysom Hill? Man, or will you lift the fight another day and say, you know what, let's put them on the shelf and let's play them next Thursday against Dallas?
Yeah, if we could
I know Bobby wants that.
17 games.
We could only win one out of the next 2. I want to beat the Bills Thanksgiving night, but damn, we got to beat Dallas. We got to beat the Cowgirls. Somehow we could do that.
There's nobody that's out far in front of anybody. 17 games, you got to peak at the end of the season.
And there is no elite team in the NFL.
Exactly.
There's a couple bottom feeders, but no elite team in the NFL.
But you know, a lot of pressures. We're going to the break. The Saints have lost 3 in a row. Sean Payton, if they lose the next 2, they're not going to be favored against the Bills or Dallas. Sean Payton has never lost 5 games in a row in his tenure. I know he knows that.
We'll be back with more sports on the Bayou.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hoffes Duval are partnering together to help you during this difficult time. Our hurricane insurance recovery attorneys will fight for you and your loved ones. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hoffes Duval help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
Bacteria and germs run rampant in the air that surrounds us. It's more important than ever to keep our surroundings clean. Introducing BioPure. Specializing in commercial and residential disinfection applications, BioPure's advanced treatment process allows them to disinfect more surfaces quickly and effectively, with no inconvenience to staff or family members. Let BioPure help you create a better environment for everyone. Call for your free consultation today at 985-322-3003.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bourke, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maudie.
Back here on Sports on the Bayou, guys. LSU 27-14 over Louisiana Monroe. It wasn't a big win like maybe I think a lot of people thought.
Yeah, that was ho-hum.
But yeah,
it's like, you're
whatever.
watching it because you like the Tigers, but
8 o'clock at night. Man.
No, and the thing
you
is,
have to take a nap to finish.
But Mike, if we would have known that, maybe you would have taken ULM and the points, right?
No, I'm not saying nothing.
Okay, all right.
Hey, who would have expected they were going to blow out anybody? This team. I mean,
offensively, as bad as they
got
are,
no players either. I mean, right now it's everybody's. The Saints and the Tigers all entered the transfer portal.
The one thing I can give LSU's defense, 3 straight weeks. Come on, they put you in a position to win those games. Now, you did beat UL Monroe, but you should. But even against Alabama and Arkansas, they put you in that spot. Come on, offensively, Max Johnson, he's maddeningly inconsistent throwing the football.
But the one thing you're talking about, the defense, LSU, if you look at it, the last 3 games, they held their opponents to 25% on third down. So, Mike,
that's really good.
Yeah, the only opponents of only 11 or 44, so they're playing third down football. How about, could he be a complimentary receiver to Booty? Malik Neighbors.
He's really good.
I'm looking at Neighbors, a freshman. He caught 4 passes, a career high 143 yards. He seems like he was ready to play.
And he's about 80%.
Yeah,
he's still nursing an injury. Brian Thomas.
Those balls coming across the middle, they could have 4 or 5 of those. Max was throwing them high. That kid's just beat down. He's got no confidence.
And Jack Bash, who was your most consistent guy, he gets beat up in this game. But I do know one thing. This Saturday, if there's a game Ed Ogeron wants to win, it's Texas A&M. He's heard enough of Jimbo Fisher, that sort of thing.
Well, that's his bowl game.
That is LSU's bowl game. Because I think that no matter what happens, he will not coach the bowl game.
Ed don't want to. He doesn't want to hang around another month.
I can't see that.
But he's not going to give up his money.
No.
I'm not to coach the bowl, but
that's why.
Well, you learned that from you when y'all was in college.
They ain't giving that up. So they want to go in a different direction because of recruiting and all that. Because that's that process. But,
Sean Payton's 5-5, by the way. So.
No, but that's the NFL. A lot of teams are 500.
I know.
Come on, Harry.
I'm just joking.
You hating on Sean
But
Payton?
after you go 19-0 and 5-5, they get rid of it. After the UCLA game.
So what about this?
Didn't even get a chance to get better this year.
We had Kim Mulkey, the LSU basketball coach. We all know, she says whatever she's on her mind.
No, she's like you. She got no filter between that brain and that mouth.
If LSU's going to really go big, why not hire Sean Payton? No, I don't know. Sean Payton got it so good he runs the Saints. But what if you give him $15 million or whatever? Let me tell you, she said, bring in Sean Payton.
She made a compelling argument.
Why don't you get go off the Belichick? You got to talk like that.
But it was Kim being Bobby Hebert at that moment. It was Kim being Bobby Hebert.
It was like, that's why the Who Dat Nation could never be against Sean Payton because he'll have so many jobs waiting, I'm telling you.
Of course, Saints fans might be mad they took him away from him.
And then Max throws it downfield, hit Malik Neighbors, who was really the guy that came through for him this week. Really, really did. Max back to pass, throws it downfield, and then he decides he's going to run it. Goes in for the score. We should have seen more of that this season.
Yep.
We saw very little of Max running the football.
No, he got beat up, man. He got beat up this year.
Then Rhett Rodriguez throws this one up, intercepted.
Boy, did you see his dad getting on him? The offensive coordinator. Yeah, he got on his son one time.
He used to do that at Tulane.
Yeah.
On Tommy Bowden's staff.
But, man, I don't know if you can coach like that anymore.
Right.
To be that vocal about it.
Got to be your own kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Cade York comes in for the field goal, wants some money for Velveeta cheese, so to speak, on that. Max back to pass in the pocket, and he's got time, hits it downfield. Malik Neighbors.
I can't run away from people. Man.
And goes in for the score.
So that's 9 minutes left in the second quarter. It wasn't too explosive after that.
Almost like they unplugged it after that. They try a fake punt, which maybe would have worked if the guy wouldn't have fell down. And then Boogie Nights in for the score. Bob, I know you love that one, man.
Oh, yeah, I was talking with Lester about that. He knows all about the Boogie Nights. Yeah.
And Max throws it downfield, and he hits Jack Besh, gets it down to the 40-yard line, critical first down. And then Besh, I think, really did a great job here by Max, kind of getting away from people. And Brian Thomas, the second, comes in, goes in for the score. But that was maybe Max's best play of the season right there, invading people.
That was.
And he gets popped right over the middle, first down to the 15-yard line. And only read option. Throws it wide open. Well,
that's a busted coverage.
Man, yeah. In for the score. We've seen that quite a bit this year. And Cade York comes in and sort of seals the deal up, hits the field goal, and again, more money till Valverde cheese, so to speak. And guys, Cade York, I think he's going to be a top 100 pick. You look at these kickers.
Maybe get him for the Saints. I don't know. We need that kind of kicker.
I don't know. You're paying Will a lot of money to come back.
Hey, I know, but Mike, what about Damon Clark? What has he done for his status?
I think he's a top 100 pick, and he has been invited to go to the Senior Bowl. He got the invitation today from Jim Nagy.
But you know what's impressive? You look at his game. He had 7 tackles, 1.5 for loss. But he still leads the country with 127.
He should be the Butkus Award winner. He really should. We'll be back with more sports on the Bayou.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember Lafouche.
There are many strengths in our cancer center. I think one of the biggest is patients don't have to go elsewhere to get technology for their diagnosis and treatment of their cancer. Our treatment machine, the linear accelerator, allows us to pinpoint and treat cancers with more accuracy than ever was possible before. Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center provides leading-edge technology with the highest quality care and the best treatment options unique to each patient.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute, Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality, Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs, and BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. I'm going to throw it to Martin, but he's got Miss Lorraine back in the house, and also she was brought here by Miss Brenda Tanner. So we want to thank them both for coming here tonight.
Oh, yeah, but Mom said there's a reason she was coming, because she knew Harry was going to be on the desk. And Harry's putting his thumbs up, and she just wanted to make sure he was going to be behaved.
That's right.
Well, he's with us. That's not a good gig.
And Mama just wanted to make sure he was still that fine young fella he was.
That's right.
All right, so Mama's back. She wants to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving.
I sure do, but I also wish that when I come back, that I can come back and cheer the winners when they come back.
When the Saints
we've
win.
had a rough week.
The Saints I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it's going to be tough.
You might have to wait a couple weeks.
Yeah.
No, we can upset them.
All right, now I know if Miss Tanner would have had some of that group out in the crowd when she was principal, they wouldn't all look so comfortable out there right now. All right, we got some naming sponsors out here, of course. We're going to get to Chuck Bork in a second. He's got a star-studded table
Got
in
the
the front
champs.
over there.
Got the
So we're
champs.
Chuck's been dying to get this microphone and be a reporter, but he's doing so well as a lawyer that, we're going to give him a chance.
No, it pays
But we
better.
have the parish president and his gang from Lafourche, and Mitch and Cody told me they were going to keep the parish president in line. So, Archie, how about a little report from Lafourche Parish? Watch that head on that camera now.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Archie, we had the right guy for the lawsuit.
Is that a workers' comp claim?
Yeah, that's it.
But no, good luck, guys. First of all, happy Thanksgiving, everybody out there. 'Tis the season. We're getting into the holiday spirit in Lafourche. Christmas parade over in Thibodaux on December 4th. Lockport's Christmas parade over on the 18th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we're doing this really cool thing in Lafourche on December 12th called Welcome Home. It's going to be a resource expo. Whether you have insurance questions, whether you have FEMA questions or housing, we're going to be working with the Sheriff's Office, our District Attorney, Christine Russell, doing some mental health counseling for people who are having issues post-storm, as well as all kind of cool stuff. Pictures with Santa for the kids, face painting, fire trucks. So it'd be a good way to bring people back home for the holidays if you've been displaced, but a good way to get community rallied around each other before Christmas.
Now, Archie, what are you facing as far as individual homeowners when they have their insurance claim, and we have enough workers down the bayou? Whether you're putting on a roof or reconstruction and all that, is that something that you got to wait in line, or how is that? Is that slow or what?
It is slow. Look, our local merchants are bringing in truckloads of shingles every day, right? But contractors are hard to come by these days. We waited 4 weeks for a roof on my house, right? So it's been a slow process, but look, they're getting it. We're doing about 150, 200 building permits a day right now across Lafourche. So people aren't waiting. Kunas are a resilient bunch.
Yo,
Right?
3.5 weeks for me for my new roof. But man, thank goodness it got on.
Yeah, no doubt. It's coming along really good, guys. We got a lot of FEMA housing finally rolling in, very slowly, but we're slowly taking care of our people. The debris pickup will continue. Hopefully before Christmas, we'll get those guys out of there and back home to their families. But overall, we're making a good push.
Slow but sure, right, brother?
Slow but sure.
All right, before we go to break, we're going to be getting to him. Harry's going to be interviewing Edie White coming up. And
That's right.
We have Edie White and Vanderbilt. We like to split that. Mama went to Mount Carmel way back. I went to Vanderbilt. See, we playing both sides in the False family. We know how to do this. But look at Laurie DuPont. Y'all give him a hand.
Coach
That's
Duke.
too. Look at Coach Bill Clemens in the house today. Y'all give Coach
right.
a...
Bill, the best decision you ever made. You didn't offer Bobby Hebert a scholarship, and he went to Northwestern. Best decision of his life.
Hey, but wait,
that's
Coach,
a good thing.
Coach Clemens told me why. No, I'm not going to say
Oh,
it.
why? Because of Coach Magui?
No. We're gonna
You
stop.
got to have somebody to blame. No, it's the greatest thing that ever happened to you.
Coach told me he got bad information, or else you would have been at Nicholas.
Well,
State.
and the only thing is my Uncle Vernon Galliano definitely let him know it.
I agree. All right, so we got a star-studded gang here. Edie White having a great year. Vanderbilt having a great year. State champs. Chuck, you ready for them in a few seconds? Not yet. Wait, we got to give you a lot more time for these girls. All right, we're going to be back in a little bit. Don't go away.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest Duval are partnering together to help you during this difficult time. Our hurricane insurance recovery attorneys will fight for you and your loved ones. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest Duval help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
Here at South Louisiana Bank, we support our neighbors, the organizers, the helpers, the leaders, the dreamers. We support those that move our community forward. Louisiana has grown from the dedication, commitment, and loyalty of the people who call this beautiful place home. We are proud to offer our services to the communities in South Louisiana. South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maudie.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. We're going to do some option football. Martin, you got it.
All right, let me bring my entourage. Come on. These guys are the future.
There we
Y'all
go.
stand up. Come on, stand up. Come on up. Come right here. They're the future. They said, Mr. Martin, you're getting too old. We want to take your place one day. So I said, well, come on and help me. Y'all get on this side. So
Some good-looking guys.
Yeah, it won't be long, huh? All right, you ready? We're going to do the corporate sponsors. It's perfect. We got 5, and we got 5 corporate sponsors. All right, here we go. You're going to do the first one.
South Louisiana Bank.
And do IE?
IE.
Yeah. There you go.
There we go. That's perfect. What's your name?
Cooper.
Cooper, you got a last name?
Fake.
All right, there we go. All right, what's your name?
Hayes.
Last name?
Olson.
All right, very good. All right, you're going to do the next one.
Terrebonne General Health System Community. Sports Institute.
You got it. You got it. Perfect, perfect. All right, you up next, big fella. What's your name?
Andre. Stokes.
I'm just trying to see if they do have last names.
It is the domino
All right, here we
theory.
go. You ready?
Barker Hyundai.
And just say, in the King Lester Beamer.
What?
The King Lester Beamer.
The King.
I know you haven't heard of him yet. You will one day.
No, wait till you get old enough to get
All
a car.
right, Grayson's ready to go. Grayson, you got the next one right here. Alford and Associates.
And Associates.
Well, you look a whole lot like Harvey Sharp. I think so, huh?
He's a little shy.
He's shy. He's going to break out his shell just like his dad did. All right, you ready for the next one?
Bayou Pure.
Now say it with some zesto.
What does that mean?
I mean, BioPure.
BioPure.
Bayou Pure.
All right, what's your name?
Liam Kelso.
All right, there you go.
All right.
Give him a hand. Hey, wait. It's Thanksgiving week real quick before we go to Harry.
They got a gobble?
How about a gobble?
Gobble, gobble.
There you go.
Gobble, gobble. Gobble, gobble. Gobble,
That's a singular gobble.
gobble.
Hokey would not be impressed.
All right, you're right. Hokey could do it. All right, Harry, we're going to throw it to you.
Yeah, I tell you, he'd have been impressed with a great game by Nichols, and Nichols gets the big win over Southeastern.
So they win the trophy, right?
They win the.
Well, I think this is the game.
Yeah, they win the trophy, but they don't get into the league.
They didn't get into the playoffs.
Right. So, this is Southeastern. This was up in Hammond. And the Colonels, if they'd won their last 2 games, they'd have been forced a 3-way tie. But they didn't win against Incarnate Word. So they were playing for pride here and doing a great job. Cole Kelly ran it in first, and Cohen Grenier with the pass right there. It was 7-7 at this point, but Cole Kelly goes back to work. We were talking with Bobby. He may win the Walter Payton for the second year in a row.
Back-to-back, yep. Back-to-back seasons.
Bobby handed out that trophy one year.
To a guy that played a long time in this league,
Yeah,
Brian Westbrook.
with the
How about
Eagles.
Colin Guggenheim?
How about that?
He is averaging 164 yards the last 5 games. He had 100 yards against every team in the Southland Conference this year. Where'd he come from? Freshman, true freshman.
He was a quarterback
he looks like
at John
Mike
Curtis.
Allstott, the way he runs the ball. Here he goes in, gives the Colonel a lead,
Yeah,
21
JT wishes
to
he
14.
still had him.
Yeah.
There's Kelly again passing, and that's a touchdown.
Boy, he can sling it.
That's a heck of a
Good
fake.
gracious.
But a good pass there, and we're tied at 21. So we go to third quarter now. There's Kelly again, finding space. Boy, Sulfo does a good job. Really getting
A
those
lot
guys
of
in
crossing
space.
patterns,
Right.
kind of fade, picks, however you want to call it.
Yep, he really has. There's Grenier again. A couple of guys that have made all conference in their offensive line. It's a pretty good team.
Man,
so
PJ
he pushes it in.
3 straight years, offensive lineman of the year in the Southland.
Right. So, they're really good. And here's the kickoff to begin the third. So this Colonel's up 31-28. And
that's what they needed.
There
That
you go.
turnover.
Got a
Get that
turnover.
takeaway, yep.
Jacob Parker jumps on it. And here we go. Grenier, 1-yard run in. So the Colonels now extend their lead to 38-28 at this point. I was watching this game. I was like, well, this game's over after this run. Watch the safety. No, I'm not going to do it.
Man, I ain't fooling with him.
Guggenheim.
I ain't fooling with him.
I was saying, it looks like All-Star. We need to get him one of them toilet seats you put on.
You're right. You're right.
Big neck roll.
And then Cole, man.
But
you
then
talk
they come back.
A
It was
260-pound guy here.
Yeah, look at the time. We're in the fourth quarter, so still 12 minutes to go. And they go for it, and they score again. So they go for the 2-point conversion, and they get the touchdown.
And
so
then,
now it's a tight game. Had a chance to kind of put it away. We're up 3 with 5 seconds to
Could've
go.
put it in overtime.
And could have tied the game. So,
that was the bowl game for Nick.
Well, and you look, Saudis is in the playoffs Saturday night at 6 p.m. in Hammond. They're playing FAMU. That's probably going to be their largest crowd ever. You know why? Everybody wants to see the FAMU band like Southern or Grambling. I'm telling you, it's going to be packed with Florida A&M, the Rattlers, coming to town against Southeastern. The winner plays James Madison. You know who went to James Madison? Mike Hawes.
We'll be back with more sports on the Bayou.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember Lafourche.
Are you looking for a new or used vehicle? Well, come check us out at Barker Honda because we get new, updated inventory daily.
We're offering top dollar for your trade.
Give us the opportunity to buy your car.
We offer new and used financing.
Come check out our award-winning trucks.
For cars, trucks, SUVs, come check us out.
Our sales specialists can help find the vehicle just for you.
We're getting new inventory daily.
Come down and see us on Martin Luther King Boulevard in Holman. Always remember,
it's better at Barker. Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Stan Gravois does a great job each and every week breaking down all the high school games. So we're going to throw it to Stan's package here on all the high school games this past week.
The division brackets heading into the semifinals, the classification brackets heading into the quarterfinals. Let's take a look back at week 2 of the playoffs. In the Division II bracket, E.D. White, the number 1 seed on their first possession, goes right down the field against Parkview Baptist. Jeffrey Dietrich on the touchdown run. The defense comes through big for the Cardinals. Cooper Cook on the interception. Number 43 takes it away from the receiver from Parkview Baptist. Just a few plays later, quarterback Jake Sternfeld's on the sneak. 14-0 Cardinals. The Eagles do get a 34-yard field goal right before the end of the first quarter, but in the second quarter again, E.D. White's offense takes it right down the field. The touchdown goes to Matt Melossa on the 16-yard run. It was 21-3 going into half. Charlie Hunt comes up with this interception. It was the only threat by the Eagles in the second half of this game. E.D. White goes on to win it rather handily, 21-3 over Parkview Baptist. In Shreveport, Vanderbilt Catholic used these 2 short Teddy Garlick runs to build up a 14-10 first half lead over Loyola Prep. Right before halftime, big defensive play for Vanderbilt Catholic. William King comes up with this interception. Vanderbilt gets the ball. They travel down the field. They settle for a field goal from 39 yards. Dakota Purvis. Terriers go in at halftime, leading 17-10. But in the third quarter, Loyola ties it up. Jaden Armetta on this nice throw back of the end zone. That's Danny Collins on the reception, 17-17. And maybe the play of the game, folks, special teams. Landon Rogers hauls it in at his 19-yard line, and he won't be touched. He is going to go into the end zone. Touchdown Vanderbilt Catholic, 24-17 at this point. The Flyers do come back and tie it up, but Vanderbilt has a nice possession late in this game where they eat up a lot of the clock. Cameron Harris bowls it over. The Terriers up by 7, but they have to come up with this 4th down stop of the Flyers to win it all. That preserves the win for Vanderbilt Catholic. Final score, Terriers 31, the Flyers 24. In 5A football, Destrehan held off Woodlawn of Baton Rouge 29-20. And our last local score of note in 3A football, Lutcher defeated Bogalusa 41-32. And in Division II semifinals are set. At the top of the bracket, it'll be number 5, St. Thomas More at 8-4, coming in to take on the number 1 seed E.D. White Cardinals. That game in Thibodaux. And from the bottom of the bracket, it's the number 2 seeded University Lab Cubs at 12-0, entertaining number 6 Vanderbilt Catholic. That game going to be played in Baton Rouge. In 5A action, it's the quarterfinals in Destrehan. It'll be number 5 Ruston coming into town to take on the 8-0 Wildcats. Ruston is 10-2 on the season. And in 3A football, Letcher going to be on the road. The number 6 Bulldogs at 9-1 are traveling out to St. Martinville to take on the number 3 10-2 Tigers. And a huge congratulations to 4 of our local teams who came away with state championships last week. First, the girls cross-country team of E.D. White are your 3A state champions. Congratulations to Coach Jordan Reed and his girls. The Lady Cardinals won it all with 50 points. In second place was Sacred Heart with 70 points and University Lab in third with 136. Remember, low point wins in cross country. And an additional congratulations to the boys of E.D. White. They finished as runner-ups in 3A. In 4A cross-country action, it was the girls of Vanderbilt Catholic who brought home the state championship. They finished with 45 points in second place. St. Michael at 61 points. In third place, Turlings with 76 points. That's the 4th straight state championship of Vanderbilt Catholic's girls and their coach, David Malone. And finally, it was the boys and girls swim teams of E.D. White bringing home state championships. Out in Sulphur last week, the boys defeated the field. E.D. White scored 341, University Lab 269, Lusher 219. They repeat as state champs, as do the girls. The girls just edged out second place Episcopal. It was E.D. White's girls with 303 points, Episcopal 293 points, and St. Charles Catholic in third place with 208 points. Congratulations to Coach Christina Lasserre and her E.D. White swim team, again, state champions.
Thank you, Stan. Did a great job. I want to tell everybody when Ruston plays Destrehan, the guy calling the plays for Ruston in the booth, Steve Insminger Jr. is going to make the calls. He's the offensive coordinator for Ruston. So quite a run for Dad. And then this is his final season at LSU, and now Steve's running the offense for Ruston.
So Mike, he went from Assumption to
went to Assumption, actually went to Baton Rouge and got a chance to go to Ruston.
Okay.
And he felt, and he's been through a lot. You lose your wife and everything the way he did with Carly. And man, he's where he wants to be and running an offense. So congratulations to Steve. We'll be back with more sports on the Bayou.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hoffa are partnering together to help you during this difficult time. Our hurricane insurance recovery attorneys will fight for you and your loved ones. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hoffa help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
For years, Tony Alford and Priscilla Larpenter have been the foundation of what is now Alford & Associates. Their passion and vision have been embedded company-wide. It's about making sure that our community is strong and protected for the next generation.
I have such respect and pride for our company, and I'm excited to bring new and innovative ideas to our clients.
It's quite simple. It's the mindset of our organization to protect you from life's hardships.
Your benefits are our business.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford & Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Doc's not here, but his segment always is. It's the Dr. Pat segment. Okay, here goes.
Making statements. Why you
Let's give the floor to our Doctor of Curiosity and the voice of the people, Dr. Pat Hagen.
Come on. You're asking all them questions, making statements.
All right, we're back here on Dr. Pat segment. Terry, you got it, brother.
All right, being that we got LSU and the Saints out the way, how great would it be for the home and Thibodeau area for both E.D. White and Vanderbilt to get in the state finals?
Awesome.
Hey,
that
Kyle,
awesome.
That's not putting a little bit of pressure on you and Bergeron, right?
I didn't really want to. I'm just saying it would be awesome.
On Coach.
No, that would be awesome. You talk about basically home of Thibodeau home, and it's all the same people.
Yeah.
To be in that situation, no, that's like old school. That's what you'd want. Just what I've witnessed, though, I think Vanderbilt would have to upset E.D. White. Oh, don't hate on me, Vanderbilt people. I'm just telling you, I'm looking at E.D. White's program right now in Vanderbilt. I think E.D. White has had a better season. Now, I'm just being objective, so don't hate on me. So I'm
You
just
lost money already. You pushing the curb with this.
I'm being
You're
honest.
You're going to be borrowing money from me again.
I'm being honest.
It would be amazing.
Yeah, they both get
really
challenge.
would. Really would.
Look at University against Vanderbilt and E.D. White. They're both going to have tough games.
But at least, Coach, you erased some of the demons from Parkview Baptist. Some of them, not all, but some of them with that win last Friday.
No, look, and we hadn't had a chance to get many teams in the finals for a long time, going back in a long time. Laurie DuPont's one. He has
Laurie,
half of them.
Coach Duke.
When you talk about West St. John and Thibodeau High. But, no, it's been a long time. So to have two of them playing each other would be one of the
And you would figure
things.
that's one River Parish school that got hot late. And that's Destrehan. All of a sudden has gotten hot.
Yeah, you look at Woodlawn, Baton Rouge. That was a tough game, but Woodlawn, Baton Rouge is a formidable opponent.
And you had a coach you were familiar with that was at Ruston at one time.
Oh, you talking about with Laird? Or?
Yeah, with Laird.
Yeah, Brad Laird, the head coach at Northwestern State University in Natchitoches, was a quarterback that did nothing but win at Ruston High School.
Yeah, one big.
One big. But, hey, I tell you what, I'm looking at, and right in the audience, look how cool he is. Look at Ray Maillet, one of the best cornerbacks ever at Salafouche, 1976.
And he's still cool with the glasses.
We played St. Aug in the Superdome. I never forget Ray Maillet right here. Yeah, all of a sudden I was like messing up against Baker, and he had to set me straight.
Back with more Sports on the Bayou.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember Lafourche.
Curtis Calais Welding has been providing contract labor for the offshore oil and gas industry for over 28 years. Curtis Calais Welding is now hiring. All applicants must have a TWIC card and be able to pass an occupational medical exam and a drug screen. Triple C Towing has a fleet of 2 inland tugs to provide service for the oil and gas industry. All vessels are provided with experienced personnel, and we do what we say we will do. Curtis Calais Welding, now hiring, and Triple C Towing, ready to work.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bourke, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford & Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Motti.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Martin, special.
Oh, yeah, we
group.
made a long segment. We got a star-studded event today. And just to let the Eddie White fans know, like Bobby said.
You're being fair and balanced.
We're going to have Eddie White on next week. They got a lot of state championships, too. So, and it's good to see everybody's getting along. I love it. Wasn't like
but not when you're competing. Hell no, you ain't getting along. You're trying to get in the business. No, you can be all that off the field and all, but when you're competing.
And when the cameras are rolling.
You're right.
Yeah, right.
You're right. I was trying to create a good call. All right, we got Chuck Bork, and Chuck's taking over this segment because he's very near and dear to some of these state champions. Chuck, go ahead.
Yeah, Martin, I appreciate you giving us a chance to bring these young ladies on the show today. They did a wonderful job. They went up to Natchitoches for the state championship meet. We've got 6 of the runners from the team with us today. Of these 6 runners, we had a number 1 place, a number 3, third place finisher, and of the total 6, they were in the top 25 of over 100, or right at about 120 runners. So big kudos that go out to these young ladies. Give them a chance. I'll introduce themselves briefly in a second, but again, you saw the record earlier. Repeat, they go back year after year and get it. I wish we had Coach Malone with us today. A big amount of the credit should go to them, but as we all know, as Bobby will tell you, it's the athletes that do it at the end of the day. And these young ladies went out, worked hard, and brought another state championship.
Well, you know, you bring up, it's amazing when you look at the team concept and how you stack up the points to win a championship. You can see they all appreciate one another, and that's what it takes. No matter what sport you're playing, if you're playing tennis or golf, then you're kind of by yourself. But if you're playing a team sport, and cross country is, if you're going to be a state champion, Vanderbilt realizes that.
And that's the thing.
EDY too.
We could have and it's always great to have the champion, and we're blessed to have the champion on this team. But you don't win state with just one runner. It takes the whole team to bring back the state championship. All right, if y'all can go ahead and introduce yourself, ladies.
I'm Ella Chestnut, Logan Hamilton, Bryn Kelso, Grayson Scheck-Snyder, Blair Berg, Madeline Saunier.
Let's give him a hand. Go.
All right.
And what I'd like to do real quick, Bobby, if I can call up Bryn Kelso. Bryn was the one who won the state championship. If I could call her up a second.
You notice there's no overweight cross-country runners.
No.
Come on, Bobby. It's not like we run in cross-country.
I'm being honest.
We can always get an inappropriate comment from Bobby.
No, I'm being honest.
Well, that's true.
So
I'm just saying.
Brent, real quick, I just wanted to ask you, how did it feel as you came onto the track in Natchitoches, realized you were going to win it? How did it feel? How did it make you feel? Realize that all your years and months of hard work really paid off?
I think I was honestly in disbelief. It's been a goal of mine since 8th grade, since I started this. So it was a really great feeling. There's a lot of long hours and a lot of hard work that goes into this for the whole team. So it was really great to be up there and to help the team win another state championship.
Well, congratulations to you. Congratulations to the whole team. We look forward to seeing more championships come out of this group.
And 40 years from now, y'all can still talk about that championship like A-Bear does.
Yeah, you have a reunion.
And I work with one guy who complains 40 years ago that he didn't win it.
Yeah, no.
They got cheated, supposedly.
When you're a champion, no matter what you do the rest of your life, you can't.
They can't take that away from you.
Take that away. Y'all can hang out and have a barbecue or whatever. Y'all. Year in and year out, y'all always remember this special year that y'all all were part of.
All right, H, you got it, brother.
Yeah, thanks. I'm with Kyle Sang, the head coach at E. White, also the athletic director now. And we were talking, so Vanderbilt, if you guys win E.D. White Vanderbilt finals, Vanderbilt was 1977, you guys 1981 against John Curtis was the last time they played. It would be cool that you guys get hurricaned out at the beginning of the year, didn't get a chance to play for the second year in a row to meet in the finals.
Yeah, 2 years in a row, it's been disappointing not being able to play them. I actually talked to Coach Minton last week and said, I'll meet you in Lafayette. You know, obviously we both have tremendous challenges this week. But I think we're playing our best football. I know Vanderbilt is as well. I'd like to thank Bobby for throwing gas on the fire. I usually come to home and do some shopping at Sam's for my wife and just sneak out real quiet. But I appreciate that, Bobby.
Yeah, once you cross that Shreve overpass, it all changes. I know what you're talking about. Hey, let's talk a little bit about your opponent. St. Thomas More's pretty good club. Walker Howard, LSU signee. Jamie Howard's son. Dana Howard, by the way, graduated with me. That's his grandmother. So let's talk a little bit about that team and about Howard in particular.
Everybody starts with Walker Howard, obviously, and he's a great talent. He throws the football well. I think their running game is underrated.
Right.
They're a complete football team, offensively at least. When Walker was hurt, they had to do some different things. They lost a couple games, but they played a killer schedule. He's back now, obviously, but I think offensively, they're the best offense I've seen in a long, long time. Defensively, I think we got some things that we can take advantage of. And obviously, our goal at ED White is to possess the football, keep those guys off. So I hope you guys don't see Walker very much.
Yeah, I agree. So let's talk about your guys a little bit. You got some players, and this is not just a bunch of little guys coming together, Rudy style. There's some athletes on this team.
Yeah, this is probably the most talented football team I've had. We don't have a lot of D1 guys, but we got a lot of guys that really run real well. Got Coach Bergeron with me, my defensive coordinator, and he can appreciate the fact that we probably run as well as I've ever seen at ED White defensively. Got some DBs who really run. Got 4 guys under 4.5 that can run. I think that's to our advantage. We were able to match up with guys a little bit better because of our secondary. We're not very big up front, but again, we move pretty well. So defensively, defense has really carried us throughout the year.
Right, and which is important nowadays, right? Because everybody spreads you out, even on the high school level. So you got to have guys that can run and guard.
Yeah, I call it the 7-on-7 mentality. Right. Everybody has that mentality because they do it all summer long. And then all of a sudden, when you put the pads on, and Bobby can appreciate that, and the quarterback's got people in his face, that kind of changes, you know. And a lot of teams don't adjust to that very well. St. Thomas More obviously does. They do a great job of protecting Walker, but that mentality we want to take advantage of. We want to turn that 7-on-7 mentality away from their strengths and maybe hit them in the mouth a little bit.
So but Coach, it's still about running the football, stopping the run. I mean, no matter what, it comes down to that. People want to tell you different, but it is about running the football and stopping the run.
And I like what you said about time of possession. I remember this old Ralph Perry thing. I don't care if they got all these studs. If they don't have the football, they can't score. Now you can't turn it over.
Right.
You protect the ball. Yeah, Howard might be unbelievable, but what if he's on the sideline?
They had a drive, and they used up the entire quarter.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Remember? I remember we played Bugaloosa. They had Raymond James. This guy was unbelievable. And then Coach Perry says, well, we don't have nobody to hang with him, but if he's on the sideline, we had a drive one time like 14 minutes, like a quarter plus, and just like a machine. Remember the Pink Floyd song, Welcome to the Machine? We were jamming to that in high school. Home. Go, now you can't turn it over. Now you got it, but just be steady because all of a sudden, it's like 7-0, and they ain't even touched the ball, and it's almost halftime.
Absolutely. Underrated part of that 7-on-7, you get to run up and touch the guy.
Yep.
And he's down.
Right.
And he's
Can't
down.
do that.
On Friday nights, you got to get the guy to the ground.
Yeah.
And look, I think Coach Bergeron will agree with me. This is the best tackling football team that I've had. Ethan Lee at free safety is just unbelievable tackler in open space, and you have to do that against really great athletes when you're playing St. James and Lutcher. And St. Thomas More, you got to tackle well. It's no two-hand touch anymore like it was.
Is that rocket science? No, just tackle them. You got to go out there and do it.
I think that's an innate ability that some kids do. We practice tackling every single day, and the kids do the same drills. But it's just innate in some kids.
Without a doubt.
Some are much better at it.
Absolutely.
The same guys at the end of the year always lead the team in tackling, right?
Absolutely.
No matter how much they practice. Well, Coach, good luck this weekend. Hopefully we'll see you back next weekend. We'll keep rolling. So thanks and good luck.
Appreciate you having us.
All right.
Thank you, Coach. We'll be back with more sports on the Bayou.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest Duval are partnering together to help you during this difficult time. Our hurricane insurance recovery attorneys will fight for you and your loved ones. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest Duval help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
Leg pain, swelling, or ulcers can be signs of vascular disease in the legs. This lack of blood flow can lead to amputation if not treated. Varicose or spider veins may also be signs of venous disease and are more than just a cosmetic problem. Trust the most advanced team of leg pain specialists at Cardiovascular Institute of the South to reopen blockages in the legs and offer minimally invasive in-clinic vein treatments. If you experience leg pain, swelling, or have visible veins, schedule an appointment with us today at cardio.com.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bourke, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e., Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford & Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're finishing up here on Sports on the Bayou. Martin, you got it.
Yeah, just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I'm personally going to Lester's house. He invited everybody here in the audience and everybody in Thibodeau to go to his house.
Everybody in Thibodeau.
Show up at 11:30. Lester, what's the address?
202 Bellmead, but I'm going to be home. I'm with LSU basketball.
No, he's in Niceville, Florida. I'll go find him there.
To all these state champs. It's going to cost me steak dinners along the way. You promise them you win state, you get a steak. Vanderbilt, E.D. White, y'all going to put me out of business. Anyway, right. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.